Hi, Matthew 9:29. According to your faith, it will be done unto you. Think about that. Many times in all these videos that I make, I say, you want Jesus to say about you, wow, such faith, such faith. Whenever you expect, do you think it's possible he's going to say, my child, you did so well in life. I'm talking about when you get to heaven. You just made one mistake. You expected too much from me. Who do you think I am? I gave you a brain, you have to use it. He says to be anxious about nothing, right? You want him to say such faith. And again, Matthew 9:29, according to your faith it will be done unto you, right? Read the whole thing. According to your faith, let it be done. So, what does it mean? Does it mean if you say, I really believe I'm going to have this $1 million? No. Because now you're not asking that in his name. The name of this channel is Decide for Peace. So we're talking about whatever it may be in life. You don't know how you're going to get through the storm. In a lot of times in life, the things that make you don't have peace are simple things. What if they don't like? What if this just decide for peace, knowing that God controls everyone's perceptions? Every little thought somebody has of you, it is controlled. The world is not on automatic pilot. If you knew what Almighty meant, you'd be embarrassed. You are so safe. I mean, think of Philippians 4:26. Be careful for nothing. In other translations, be anxious about nothing. He talks so much about not worrying. You do have the ability to trust him. If I mentioned in another video, if you said, I just don't know what I'm going to do, they're going to come and they're going to, they're going to take my kids away or whatever. I don't know if I told you, I'll take care of it. If you have to say to me, why, what are you going to do? How are you going to take care of it? The more I have to explain to you how I'm going to take care of it, the less you're trusting me. If I say, well, by the way, hey, you know what? The mayor of the city is a friend of mine. The more I explain, you're going to say, oh, thanks. That's not trust. But if you know that I love you and you know that I'm going to be honest with you, you don't have to be careful about it at all. You can live recklessly. Reckless. Think what the word means. Reckless. You're going to wreck less, right? So if you have a wreckful life or a reckless life, there's two different things, right? We think, well, he's so reckless. Well, yeah, because he's not reckless, right? He's not wreckful. Think about it. The words get in the way. So Matthew 9:29, according to your faith, it will be done to you. Philippians 4:26, be careful for nothing. Don't be anxious. And if you have good reason to worry, there's a greater reward for saying, I'm going to let you steer, Jesus. Because we always feel like God needs our help. He doesn't need our help. He needs our submission. When you're in control and you're driving the car, yeah, now you got to be careful, don't you? He says to be careful for nothings. For nothing. Be careful for nothing. And if you're driving the car, you got to be careful. He wants to drive. Right? And remember Elijah up on the mount. God came in the whisper. He whispers. There's too much music on in the background. If you're doing a lot of talking, you're not going to hear the whisper. He wasn't in the storm, right? He's not in that stuff. He's a whisper. He's touching the wheel and the steering wheel of your life, and he is steering it gently. And when you don't like the way it's going and you think it looks scary, you grab onto the wheel and turn the other way. He's a gentleman. He lets you go that way. And now you have to be careful what you're doing. Look, if I say so many times, if you are asking God to lead and guide you, you have to assume he is leading and guiding you. And he's leading you, he's not managing you, right? I say the same things over and over and over again throughout my videos. But repetition is the mother of success. Everybody knows a little story, Go to church, they hear this great preaching. If you're Catholic, this great homily. They go back next week, they hear the pastor, priest say the same thing. Next week, the same thing. Finally, at the end, one guy goes up to the presider and he goes, I don't know if you noticed, but kind of what you're saying sounds a little bit similar every week. And he goes, oh, you noticed. You noticed. I'm glad. I want to keep saying it until you practice it. Implement it in your life. And isn't that why we have the living Word of God? You study it your whole life. He calls us his little sheep. I don't know that it's a compliment. Sheep are some of the dumbest animals. I mean, he's saying he gives you 10 commandments. He doesn't give you a whole bunch. He gives you 10, right? And he narrows it all down to 2, the first 2, right? The first 2, all the other ones really fall under the first 2, right? Love God with all your might. So here we go. Let's get sidetracked. So, but here's interesting. Listen to this. James 1:6-7, right? Think about this. Anyone who doubts is like a wave in the sea being blown up and down by the wind. They shouldn't think they're going to receive anything from the Lord. What? What? Do you doubt? James 1, 6, 7. Anyone who doubts is like a wave in the sea, being blown up and down by the wind. They shouldn't think they will receive anything from the Lord. And that's how it was said. That wasn't said nice. Don't doubt. Why do you doubt? You remember, Peter gets a bad rap for sinking, but he's the only one that walked on the water, right? He did. I mean, the only one in the boat, right? He was excited. He went to him. And as soon as he took his eyes off of Jesus, that's when he started to sink. As long as he was looking at Jesus, if you notice the scripture when you read it, he perceived the wind. He perceived, hey, this shouldn't be possible. He's not looking at Jesus anymore. When you have a problem, you don't look at the problem. Think of it like this. You're on a diet, and there's an ice cream cone tempting you. And most people think, should I eat the ice cream cone? Shouldn't I eat the ice cream cone? I don't know if I should eat the ice cream cone. I don't want to eat the ice cream cone. You're going to eat the ice cream cone. That's all you're thinking about. But if you see the ice cream cone and you think, oh, I would like to fit in that bikini. Is it important for me to fit in that bikini? I really would like to look nice, and then I go to the beach next once. You're not going to eat the ice cream cone. What you focus on is more real to you. And you see these examples all through life. Look at a debate between presidents or something. I mean, between presidential candidates or anything else. People that go into the debate expecting their guy to win. At the end, they go, oh, it's very easy. It's very easy to see. This is who won. This is who won. Oh, he killed him. And then you hear the other people, oh, look at that. He killed him. Our minds aren't really open, are they? You know, Jesus gave us one commandment, and that's to love others. That's how, and then he forbid us to judge. We're not allowed to judge, right? We're not allowed to judge, but we do it all the time. And we don't realize it. I'm not talking about just by judging others. We're really not that open. We're not that open, you know? You see so many people talk about, would Jesus wear a mask? That's why I tried to make that video, and I tiptoed around a lot of things in that video. Would Jesus wear a mask? Because he would wear a mask, but not for the reasons most people think he would wear the mask. You know, that's a subject for another time. You know, you can see that there. So, Joshua 1:9, be bold and strong, banish fear and doubt. When you're afraid, it proves your lack of faith. It does. It proves it. And that's a good thing, because God's letting you know you're not there yet, right? And you're supposed to be perfect as your Heavenly Father is perfect. That's what you're supposed to do. That is your goal. You are to be perfect. And you can be at peace knowing that He's not demanding anything from you. He will take whatever you give Him and say that's enough. But He's going to help you to become, He loves you the way you are, but He loves you enough not to let you stay that way, right? So He's going to bring you stuff, you know? And the worst way that people lose peace, well, I should say the worst way, but one of the big things that I see, especially in my youth center when I'm talking to young girls, 2 Corinthians 10:12, when you compare yourself to others, you show how foolish you are. 2 Corinthians 10:12, when you compare yourself to others, you show how foolish you are. We're all given different handicaps in this life. What do I mean by that? Just like in golf, you have one good player. If he wants to be able to play another player, they weight down the other one, right? To make it fair, so that an amateur can play an expert and still have a fair game. It's a handicap. You don't know the thoughts that other people have going through their head. Everybody has different handicaps. Everybody thinks it's greener on the other side, right? Trust God. No, say to Him, thank you for my Lord. Just thank you, my Lord, for my life exactly the way it is right now. Don't listen to the thoughts evil's going to put in your ear. You don't know what you're saying. You're not going to get anything. Jesus said, if you ask, you shall receive. No. He knows what you want. If you ask things in His name, if I tell you to go vote in my name, you have to vote what I want for. I didn't give you permission to just vote whatever you want for. You're asking for God to lead and guide you, not manage you. Remember, I say the same things in all my videos. A leader makes sure you're doing the right things. A manager helps you to do the things you want to do correctly, right? You hire a manager to clean your house, tell him what needs cleaned, he does it. Hire a leader, he says, that's not important. The leader tells you what to do. You can't say, Lord, I want to get this job, help me to do this right, lead and guide me. He might not want you to have that job. You don't know. His ways are higher above your ways, and the heavens are above this world, right? And now, in this day and age, we know what that means. You can decide for peace if you practice trusting Him. If you realize how much He loves you, fall in love with Jesus. Realize the sacrifice that He made for you. And you can test your love for Jesus, as I said in some of the other videos. If you knew that you could go to heaven and all your loved ones would be there, everybody would be there, and you would have your heart's desire, everything you want, but Jesus wouldn't be there, how much would you care? Are you in love with Him? Or is it more important, would you say, that your loved ones are there than Jesus? Look, when you fall in love with him, when you get to see his experience, and how do you do that? You get to know him. You can get to know it through the Word primarily if you're Protestant. For a Catholic, spend time with him in front of the Holy Eucharist. For a Protestant, ask him to put you where he wants you to be. Just say, and everybody should do that, Lord, put me where you want me to be. Don't be so specific. He knows the desires of your hearts. He gave them to you. You don't have to ask for your desires. As you get to know him and you have a relationship with him. I mean, didn't you ever wonder if you are not sure if God's there? I don't think that's you, but say you're one of the individuals that you're thinking, and everybody doubts. Say you're one of the people that you're thinking, I know he's there, but every now and then you have these doubts. Just think when you're talking to somebody that's sure. They don't even know how to explain it to you. How do I explain to you that I'm sure that my wife's real? I have a relationship with her. No one can prove. If you give me scientific evidence, she's not there. And for somebody, once you have a relationship with God and you see his sense of humor and he's working, and you'll see it all the time. Talk to him. That's the number way to do it. Think to him. You have to think anyway. Think to him. I'm telling you, I do it all the time. I mention food because I love food. Whatever I'm going, I go to a drive-thru. I even sit down and look on the menu and I think, I have to think anyway. I think, Jesus, what should I get? When I wake up in the morning, I don't make plans like I used to. You have to be good at planning so you can give it up. You don't tell a bum on the street, don't make any plans, just trust in God. First, he's got to get great at planning. And once you're great at planning and you're able to direct your life, then you give the steering wheel to God. You don't say, God, drive me. I don't know how to drive. No, you learn how to drive. You get good at it. You like it. Now you give it up and you say, Lord, what do I know? You drive. Right? So, peace is a choice. And remember, when you trust him and you're able to say, Lord, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure I'm going to love it. You're in control of everything. That requires so much faith, okay? And remember Matthew 9:29, according to your faith it will be done to you. If you're telling him in your faith, if your faith is demonstrating that you are trusting that he's going to get you through this, then that means even if it doesn't turn out the way you were trusting him, you know that his ways are higher above what you're going to be at peace. You're going to know, even though I don't understand this. You know, we mentioned about, a little boy, Father Larry Richards. I don't know why I've been mentioning him a lot lately, and I haven't seen his videos in a long time, but God's been bringing it to my mind. He talks about he said, if your child says, going to the doctor, Mommy, please don't let me get the shot. Let me get the shot. You say, okay, just trust me. And you go there and the doctor said, but you need the shot. You're going to hold that shot. You're going to hold the child. You're going to comfort the child while the doctor gets the shot. Now, that's just what happens to God, but you know better than the child he needs that shot. And this doesn't just apply to shots, anything you're going to do for your kid. They don't like discipline at the time, right? But you have to discipline them. It doesn't have to be spanking them, correcting them somehow, I have to be cautious what I give my girls. I have the ability to give them way more than I want to give them because I don't want to spoil them. We think, I want to spoil that you spoil an apple. Nobody wants a spoiled apple. And people use it as a compliment. Oh, it's my first grandchild, I'm going to spoil her. Spoil her? Think what the word means. You're talking about it like it's something I want to do? Look what the words mean, right? So, according to your faith, it will be done to you. I'm going to end with this. I say that so many times and I talk another 20 minutes. I'm going to try to wrap this up. If things don't go your way, I mean real bad, you have two candidates running and you really feel that if this one wins, the whole world's going to love the country, it's never going to be the same. And then this person wins. Live in your present moment. Live in the present moment. What does present mean? This month, this day, this hour. As you grow in your faith, it narrows in more and more and more and more. If you think you're losing your mind and you can't even remember things half the time, you think, I think I'm getting amnesia. I'm telling you, I can't remember anything. If I was like this when I was younger, I'd go crazy. I'm telling you, you're probably doing really well in your faith. A person led by the Holy Spirit is like the wind. They don't know which way they're going. Okay? This is how God tests your faith. Okay? I'm telling you, there's so many people I know that are growing in great holiness and they think they're losing their mind. I'm telling you, when I get older, I'm going to have Alzheimer's. I'm telling you. A person led by the Spirit doesn't know what they're doing. I wake up in the morning, I haven't a clue what that day is going to hold for me. I haven't a clue. I mean, I have plans, but I hold them loosely. I don't fight it. I'm asking God to lead and guide me. So when he changes the river of life or the wind and it's going this way, and I wanted to go that way, I don't wear myself paddling out against it. After all, I ask him to lead and guide me, so I'm going to go with the way things are going. I want to assume he's leading and guiding me. And when you do that, things just fall into place. You can say yes to everybody that asks you something. I hear lots of people, even Christians, saying, get good at saying no to things. You have to free up time for yourself. I don't necessarily agree with it. Don't agree with it at all. Because then you're not going to be at peace. You're thinking, did I do the right thing, God? Instead, ask him to lead and guide you. Don't volunteer for anything. Just be around people. And when they ask you to do things, just say yes. And if it's something you don't want to do, instead of saying no, you can put a healthy guilt trip on them. Remember Jesus? How much longer must I endure you? That's what he said to his disciples. He didn't say, leave me alone right now, okay? I need a break. Leave me alone. No, he did try to get away on his own, didn't he? He went away, got in the boat, went over there, but they found him. Did he yell at them? Can't you see I want to be? No. You do your best. Turns up anyway. So if somebody says, here's what I want you to do. I need you to take me to the mall tomorrow. I had, as my grandmother, I loved how she used to call me and say, Kenny, I'm going to let you take me shopping tomorrow. I'm going to let you do this for me tomorrow. Oh, I used to love how she did that. And she wasn't tricking me. She loved serving people. So she thought, naturally, I'd love to take her too. And she taught me to do that, just like you teach your little kids to say, I love you, Mommy. And then they do, and eventually, because they say it so much, they actually learn to love you. Think about it. You don't say it if you don't mean it now, but if you love me, I want you to tell me. They don't even know what it means. You got to practice it, right? So serve people. So say there's something you don't want to do. Your friend says, take you to the mall. Say, oh, come on. Please don't make me do it. Give them the power. Say, listen, I really need to get this work done tomorrow. Can I help you get somebody else? What can I do instead? That's like the worst thing I want to do, okay? I mean, if you force me to do that, you know I'm not going to say no to you. But I'm telling you, I'm not going to be happy about it, okay? That's how you say no. Say, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. But you do it. Remember, he said, if you're pressed into service for 1 mile, give him 2. He didn't say if you're asked into service for 1 mile. If you're pressed into service for 1 mile, go 2. And by the way, if you're supposed to go 2, you're certainly supposed to be happy about it. Joyful is the word. Joyful before Jesus. You don't have to say, thanks for letting me do that. That's being weak. No. You do it if they ask you, but you can let them know you don't like it. But you're happy about it because you know God's leading you. Do you understand? Happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy. You can say, oh, why does this happen to me? Or you can say, well, God has a plan higher than my way. When you do that, peace isn't that far out of sight. Peace is a choice. It is a choice that you can decide to have. I said I was going to end this a while ago. So decide for peace.